I secretly went on a blind date behind my poor boyfriend's back. Unexpectedly, the blind date turned out to be him. He said his family was poor, but he drove a Rolls-Royce to the date. I was so angry I flipped the table right then and there. But he sneered and pulled out a property deed. Not only did he own rows of villas, even this top-tier restaurant was his family's property. I was about to curse out the scumbag for tricking me into marriage, but he knelt down and pulled out a diamond ring. At that moment, my phone suddenly rang. The hospital called to say my pregnancy report was wrong. Because my boyfriend is poor, I secretly went on a blind date behind his back. But the person I was supposed to meet was my boyfriend. Haha. You said your family was poor, but you're driving a Rolls-Royce behind my back. Today, it's either you die or I die. What are you doing? I was holding a set of La Mer and pouring it into a Dabao bottle. My mum looked at me in confusion, clearly bewildered by my actions. Oh, Jason's skincare is almost out. I'm getting him a new set. My mum turned her head away in disgust. Is that your boyfriend whose family owns a small restaurant? I nodded, continuing to carefully pour the skincare products. All right, stop pouring. I raised you this big, not for you to do poverty alleviation. Mom, why are you talking like that? I pouted unhappily. Jason Smith is my college boyfriend of 4 years. Although his family background is average, he is ambitious and studies hard. More importantly, not only is he handsome, but he also has a great body. What if he's poor? I have money, and I'm willing to pay for his face. My mom sighed and began to adopt a conciliatory approach. Sweetie, listen to me. Dating is one thing, but when it comes to marriage, you need to be more realistic. Being well-matched is the least you can do. Your mom set you up on a blind date. This one is my client's son, and he's exceptionally good. My mum eagerly popped a blueberry into my mouth. Just this one, I promise. I sighed. My mum has a stubbornness that won't turn back even if she hits a wall. Whatever she sets her mind to, she'll see it through. To avoid trouble, I quickly went on the blind date. Then I could just say he wasn't interested in me. I'm going to my grandparents' house in the countryside with my parents tonight for dinner. Do you have any plans? I pulled out my phone and casually sent a message to Jason. My phone vibrated. I'm also having dinner with my parents at home. Let's meet up after we eat. I glanced at my phone and got into the car with my mum. Jason was my college classmate. We've been together for 4 years. From freshman to senior year, we spent our best youthful years together. But thinking of Jason's perpetually plain white shirt, I couldn't help but worry that we might not pass the parents' approval in the future. On the way, my mum kept chattering about how amazing the other family's background was. The boy's father was in textiles, a big shot in our city's textile industry. His mother runs a catering company, and the largest restaurant in our city is theirs. Sister Anna's son, just like you, just graduated from college this year. She plans to buy a villa as a wedding home for her son, and then the decoration will be handled by our family's renovation company. Sister Anna said the budget is around 20 million, and her son even went to the same university as you. Maybe you even know each other. I was half asleep, my mind filled with how many shops, factories, houses, and how much money their family had. When we arrived at the restaurant, my mum pinched me hard, and I jolted awake. Hurry up! Sister Anna is already waiting for us in the private room. I tidied my hair and followed my mum into the private room. Then I froze. Standing in the private room was an extremely handsome young man, elegant and refined, with a distinguished appearance. I'd recognize him even if he turned to ash. It was Jason, my boyfriend of 4 years. Oh my, Sister Anna, is this your son? He's truly a talented young man. My mum's eyes lit up when she saw Jason, and her smile stretched from ear to ear, and Jason's mother was clearly very pleased to see me. Your daughter is also beautiful, with good temperament and a good figure. Jason and I locked eyes, sparks flying between us. I gave a cold smile. This gentleman looks a bit familiar. Jason's mother clapped her hands. That's right. I heard you also went to Jiang University. You two are college classmates. You must have met at school. Oh, really? These 2 children are truly fated. Jason glared at me, not to be outdone, his face full of silent accusation. How dare you come on a blind date behind my back? The feeling is mutual. The 2 exchanged silent glances, their hearts churning, but their faces remained calm. I looked around the lavishly decorated hotel. A meal here would cost at least several thousand. When Jason and I first got together, he said his family owned a small restaurant, and his mother was both the owner and the chef, working very hard. Haha, Is this the small restaurant he claimed didn't make much money in a year? Good, very good. Come, this must be Isabel. Belle, hurry and order. I pretended to be calm and glanced at Jason. He hated sour food the most. Sweet and sour pork ribs, sauerkraut fish, vinegar fried chicken, sour soup beef. With a grand gesture, I ordered a table full of sour dishes. Jason wasn't to be outdone. I don't like sweets, so he ordered a table full of sickeningly sweet Huayang dishes. When the food arrived, his mother and mine exchanged glances. These two children, their tastes seem quite different. Different is good. Complimentary. My mother wiped her brow, forcing a pleasant explanation. I hear Auntie's renovation company is quite large. I'm also very interested in renovation and hope to have the opportunity to visit Auntie's company. Jason picked up his teacup, his fingers long and slender, with distinct knuckles. He glanced at me askance, his eyes holding 3 parts mockery and 4 parts anger. I couldn't help but shrink my shoulders, feeling guilty. Wait, I did tell him my dad was a bricklayer, but he also said his mom had to carry plates every day. And my dad started out as a bricklayer and worked his way up, so I wasn't wrong at all. I puffed out my chest. No matter what, Jason coming on a blind date was a betrayal of me. That scumbag. Clearly, Jason thought the same. The private room was large, but the table was a long one. We sat facing each other, and he kicked me hard under the table. Oh, you dare to lay a hand on me? I was scooping sour soup with a spoon at that moment, and I immediately flicked my hand, splashing a spoonful of golden, glistening soup onto his face. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Look how clumsy I am. Are you all right? I looked at the disheveled Jason, with a bean sprout hanging on his face. I felt as if I had just drunk a bowl of ice-cold mung bean soup in the height of summer. All my internal organs felt comfortable. I'm fine. Jason gritted his teeth, his face cold, and raised a towel to wipe himself. My mom pinched me hard under the table. Oh, this child. She wasn't like this before. Look at how clumsy she is. This. My mom wiped her sweat, clearly very displeased with my behavior today. After we get home, I'm in for a good beating, since I'm going to get beaten anyway. Let the storm rage even harder. I took a big gulp of water, then sprayed it at Jason. Pff, Jason's face, which he had just dried, was wet again. He wiped his face with his hand and sneered. Isabel, you're really something. Now both my mum and his mum realized something was wrong. Jason's mum wasn't angry. Instead, she looked at us with a gossipy expression. You two, do you know each other? Jason looked at me expressionlessly. No. I stood up with a crying voice, then reached out and covered my stomach. Even if you don't acknowledge me, you shouldn't disown this child. He is, after all, flesh and blood of your Smith family. Jason, I hate you. With that, I covered my face and ran out of the private room. Only the 3 of them were left in disarray. I sat on the sofa with my feet up, eating fruit and ignoring Jason's calls. Heh. He must be getting a terrible scolding from his mother right now. Serves you right. For pretending to be poor every day. For going on a blind date behind my back. Bang! A huge door-slamming sound echoed, and I quietly put my feet down. My mum arrived so fast. Pregnant? I nodded with a solemn expression. I ran too fast on the way and fell, causing a miscarriage. My mum sneered, a fake smile on her face. 2 days ago, you were still on your period, and today you're pregnant. Are you pregnant with Neja? I cringed. Here it comes. Miss Emily is about to make her move. And she did. The next second, my mom's hand twisted my ear. Why didn't you tell me you and Jason were dating sooner? What nonsense are you spouting all day long? I should have thrown you away when I gave birth to you and raised the placenta instead. Do you know how embarrassed I was in front of Sister Anna? I tilted my head, powerless to resist. Mom, it hurts. It hurts. Just as my ear was about to be lost, my mom's phone rang. My mom immediately put on a serious expression, took a deep breath, and answered the phone. Hey, Sister Anna, I'm at the hospital right now. The child ran too fast and fell, and the doctor said the child won't make it. Yes, they're in surgery now. I stared at my mum in shock, my mouth agape. Mum, you can't tell such a lie. Mom, the person on the other end was clearly very anxious, their voice rising an octave. Even I could hear Jason's mum's high-pitched scream. What? Which hospital? Jason and I are coming right away. After hanging up, my mum and I exchanged glances. The atmosphere was a bit heavy. I looked at my mum with despair. Mum, do you know that one lie leads to 1,000 more to cover it up? My mum rolled her eyes, pulled out her phone and continued making calls. Hello, little brother. Arrange a private room for me. Belle needs to stay for a while. What's wrong? Nothing much, just that she was disobedient, and I broke her leg. By the time Jason and his mum arrived, I had already changed into a hospital gown, and even put a layer of powder on my face. Seeing my haggard expression and pale lips, Jason's mum's face changed. Slap! She fiercely slapped Jason's head, making him stumble. Look at what you've done! My guilt was mixed with a bit of secret pleasure. Jason, I don't want to see you. I turned my head away, afraid I would laugh out loud. Jason looked at me with deep sorrow, his face full of shame. He held my hand, his voice choked. Belle, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have gone on a blind date behind your back. I really didn't expect things to turn out this way. Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant sooner? I'm so sorry, Isabel. I stared blankly at a pained and remorseful Jason. He pursed his lips, his eyes red, looking very sad. It was over. The joke had gone too far. I was truly a terrible person. Jason, don't be too sad. You're still young. You can have more children. My mum patted Jason's back and handed him a tissue. Jason's mum pushed Jason aside and shoved a bank card into my hand. Belle, don't worry. Our Jason will definitely take responsibility. Please accept this small token of our sincerity. I was a little flustered and shot a pleading look at my mum. Mum, what should I do? My mum nodded, signaling me to accept it, then held Jason's mum's hand and spoke sincerely. This whole thing was Isabel's own carelessness, Sister Anna. Please don't take it to heart. Jason's mum frowned. You can't say that. Our family will definitely take care of this. I've already contacted the best confinement nanny. After you leave the hospital, Belle will move to our villa in the mountains for her confinement. The air is good there, and the environment is good. Jason's mom finished speaking, and then glared fiercely at Jason. This is your first pregnancy. You must take good care of your body, otherwise you'll suffer from lingering ailments. Even though it's early, you still need to do your confinement properly. During this time, I've told Jason to stop all his work and just stay with you for your confinement until the full 40 days are over. I looked up in shock. Confinement? What confinement? I don't want to do confinement. Mom, say something, Mom. My mother took Jason's hand with a grateful expression. Isabel will be discharged from the hospital in 2 days. Please leave it to you then. After confirming my eyes, I met a stepmother. I picked up the mineral water bottle and was about to drink it, but Jason snatched the bottle distressedly. His good-looking eyebrows furrowed into 3, and his face was heartbroken. Isabel! You are in confinement! I looked at him in confusion. What happened to the confinement? Can't you drink water during confinement? Jason got up and took the kettle nearby, poured a bottle of mineral water into it, and kept chattering. I've looked into it. During confinement, you can't drink cold water, can't be exposed to drafts, can't wash your hair or bathe, and can't eat spicy food. Don't worry, it's all my fault, and I will take good care of you. I will strictly follow the confinement nurse's instructions. But it's summer now. This is going to kill me. I'm not doing this confinement, actually. My mum stepped forward and clapped a hand over my mouth, then gave me a hard pinch on the back. This child. Mum knows you're upset, but only by recovering your body can you have another baby. Jason's mum also nodded in agreement. Jason will take good care of you. Don't worry. Under my mum's death glare, I tearfully swallowed the rest of my sentence. My mum left with Jason's mum, saying they were going to stew tonics for me. Things like egg and sea cucumber soup, clear broth, old hen, soft-shelled turtle and pheasant soup. Just hearing about them made me lose my appetite completely. As soon as Jason walked in, he turned the air conditioning to 26 degrees. I was sweating profusely from the heat and just wanted ice cream. Jason brought over a bowl of hot water, steam still rising from it. Quick! Aren't you thirsty? Drink it while it's hot. I don't know if I saw it wrong, but a hint of mischief flashed in his eyes, and his expression held a touch of playfulness. No way. Was Jason gloating? Is he even human? I'm in confinement, and he dares to gloat. Although my confinement is fake, he doesn't know that. No, I can't suffer alone. I let out a soft groan and lay back in bed. Jason, I'm a bit cold. Can you turn off the air conditioner? Jason's hand paused. Then he sat on the edge of the bed and tucked the quilt tightly around me. Isabel, it's 35 degrees outside right now. Are you sure you want to turn off the air conditioner? I reached my hand out from under the quilt and pulled Jason's hand, pouting. Jason, I'm hot. No, I'm so cold. Cough, cough! Jason choked, then got up and turned off the air conditioner. It was my oversight. You just had surgery, so your chi and blood must be out of balance, and your hands and feet are cold. I blinked my eyes and nodded innocently. Damn it, my feet are sweating from being covered. It's killing me. Shall I get you another quilt then? My heart skipped a beat, just as the IV finished and the nurse walked in. This private hospital was owned by my uncle. To make the act more convincing, my mum had someone put me on an astragalus and ginseng IV. She really wasn't afraid of me over supplementing and getting a nosebleed. My uncle, however, felt sorry for me and only arranged one IV drip. The nurse removed the needle and Jason wiped the sweat from his forehead. Isabel, I'll go ask the doctor when you can be discharged. With that, he whooshed away. The air conditioning was on outside. This guy went to enjoy the AC. As soon as he left, I did a carp jump out of bed and quickly rushed to the bathroom. I stripped off my clothes and showered as fast as I could. Just as I changed and lay back on the bed, Jason returned. He looked at my semi-wet hair and blinked. Isabel, look what I brought you. I had no expectations, and even a hint of dread. Sure enough, Jason pulled out a pair of thick cashmere socks from behind his back, and they were pink. I went to buy you socks. They say cold enters through the feet, so you must protect your feet during confinement. I don't need them. Really, I don't. I waved my hands repeatedly, but Jason pulled back my quilt. He held my feet and forcibly put the socks on me. The moment the socks went on, I felt like I was suffocating to death. It was so stuffy. No, I can't suffer this alone. I pitifully tugged at Jason's sleeve. Jason, I want to hug you. Come on, feel my burning body temperature. Jason and I were locked in a tight embrace on the narrow single bed. Of course, it was mostly me holding him. I squeezed his waist tightly, my whole body wrapped around him like an octopus. Jason's body temperature was rising, and his palms were getting hotter. Soon, all the coolness he'd brought in from outside was gone, and his body temperature quickly surpassed mine. I couldn't help but feel a little disgusted. Just as I was about to push him away, Jason gently touched my face. Isabel, I didn't really want to go on that blind date. My mum knows I've had a girlfriend for many years, and she said the girl she was introducing me to today was excellent and beautiful. If I met her and still stuck to my choice, she would respect me. When I first saw you, I was a little angry, but mostly, I was happy. Isabel, I'm so happy that the blind date was you. Jason gazed at me tenderly. He was really handsome. Even lying on his side, his features were still sharp, and there wasn't an ounce of excess flesh on his face. My heart softened involuntarily. Wait, no, but he lied to me for 4 years. He pretended to be poor for all 4 years of college, wearing the same white t-shirt for months without changing. Just as I was about to accuse him of lying to me, Jason's face was already close. Isabel, I missed you so much. His breath brushed against my face, causing a tingling, ticklish sensation. The rest of my words were swallowed between our lips. We had both been very busy lately and hadn't seen each other for days. Jason was passionate, and I forgot my previous unhappiness, beginning to respond to him with equal fervor. My body, it seemed, was more honest than my mind. Belle, look what Auntie brought you. This soup I specially. Oh my goodness. Jason and I instantly separated, and he sprang from the bed like an eel. Mum, why didn't you knock? Jason's face was red, his usually composed expression now flustered. Oh dear, my apologies. It's Mum's fault. Jason's mother smiled broadly, and my mum, as usual, came over and pinched me. You little rascal! You're still in confinement. Be careful. Hey, Mum, can you pinch somewhere else? You're going to break my skin. My mum chuckled and lowered her hand. What is this child saying? Always talking nonsense. Caught kissing by our parents. Jason and I both felt a bit embarrassed. Especially Jason, who found an excuse and slipped out of the house. Why don't you turn on the air conditioning? This room is stifling. My mum fanned herself, and soon her forehead was covered in sweat. Jason returned shortly, insisting on personally feeding me chicken soup, the hot weather, thick pajamas, and a pair of wool socks on my feet. My mom avoided eye contact, not daring to look at me. "I'll go ask the doctor. Young people recover quickly. I think you can be discharged tomorrow. Jason, you and Anna can go back first. I'll take care of Belle here. You can come pick her up tomorrow when we do the discharge paperwork." Jason absolutely refused to leave, and I absolutely insisted he go back and rest. "I'm worried about you. I have to stay here with you today." I desperately pushed him. "Go. If you don't go, I'm going to start getting heat rash." "Jason, staying up all night is hard. You should go home and rest first." "I'm really fine now." Jason's mum sat by, watching us with emotion. These two kids, their feelings are so good. My mum finally had a change of heart, and with her strong persuasion, Jason reluctantly left, and said he would come pick me up first thing in the morning. As soon as the door closed, I immediately kicked off the blanket, took off my socks, and then grabbed a cold drink from the fridge and chugged it. "I'm so hot! I'm so hot!" "Mom, do you really have the heart to send me to Jason's house for 40 days of confinement?" "Mom, it's summer now. Did you see how he treated me?" I shoved my socks in my mom's face. "Did you see these socks? Pure wool. Did you see that bowl of water?" My tongue was scalded numb. "Look," my mum slapped me onto the bed. "What are you babbling about? You were the first one to lie. If you dare to tell the truth, your monthly living expenses will have 2 fewer zeros at the end." Under my mum's violent threat, I tearfully agreed to do this confinement. The next morning, my mum packed me and my clothes and sent me to the Smith family. Jason was exaggerated. He covered me with a thick blanket and carried me from the car to the bed. There's a limit to everything, but Jason was truly too much. I decided to confess to Jason. Whoever wants to do this confinement month can do it, but I can't stand it. I threw off the covers and sat up, about to get out of bed. Jason came over with a plate of fruit. Mangoes were diced, grapefruit peeled, strawberries trimmed, and cherries pitted. Jason stroked my head, his face full of doting affection. "Eat. It's all your favorites." My heart skipped a beat. Jason looked at me gently, smiling. His eyes sparkled like they held a sky full of stars. The words of refusal suddenly couldn't be spoken. At this moment, he was more captivating than the moonlight. "Isabel, is there anything else you're hiding from me?" Jason fed me fruit while scrutinizing me with an inquisitive gaze. I knew he wanted to ask why a perfectly fine, rich second generation like me would pretend to be poor. When I was in high school, a girl from a very poor family accidentally broke my pen. The girl sitting at the desk next to me immediately shouted loudly, "Oh, this is a world-famous brand. This pen costs over 5,000. I quickly said, Never mind. Never mind." But the girl next to me wouldn't let it go. "You wouldn't not want to pay, would you?" "What do you mean? You're poor, so you're justified. You break things and don't have to compensate." That girl was also strong-willed and insisted on paying me 5,000 yuan. I knew that 5,000 yuan was just the cost of a business dinner for my family. But for her family, it might be several months' living expenses. Young girls are sensitive and fragile. The poorer they are, the less they can tolerate their self-esteem being trampled. She was a girl who originally had excellent grades, but she went to work every day after class. Later, she even went to sell her blood and fainted in class. A semester later, she stubbornly pressed the money she had collected into my hand. But she never got into a good university, only a regular undergraduate program. Although it wasn't my fault, it made me sad for a very long time. I always felt that if I hadn't brought expensive things to school, this wouldn't have happened. What I considered normal might have been a heavy burden for others. So, after I went to college, I shed the halo of being a rich second generation and became an ordinary student. I also made very ordinary friends. No one treated me specially because of my family background or flattered me. I always felt that Jason and I met when we were both humble, but I didn't expect that he was also a fake commoner. Jason himself didn't tell the truth, but he wanted me to speak first. I rolled my eyes and continued to stuff fruit into my mouth without saying a word. Seeing that I wasn't speaking, Jason took the fruit fork from my hand. "Isabel, you know I hate it when people lie to me. Think about it. Is there really nothing you want to say?" In my mum's words, I weigh 100 pounds, and 99 pounds of it is defiance. Ever since I was little, the more they told me not to do something, the more I wanted to do it. Jason's barely concealed impatience immediately angered me. I pushed him away, lay down on the bed, and turned my back to him. "I'm going to sleep. You can leave." Jason sighed and left. I jumped out of bed with a whoosh. I'm used to exercising every day, so lying down all day was really unbearable. There was a large TV in the room. I opened my phone to cast, and it showed that the casting was successful, but the TV didn't respond. Never mind. I'll just follow my phone. I put my phone on the table and happily started doing Pamela's fitness routine. Just as I was sweating profusely, punching and kicking the air, the door opened. Jason crossed his arms, looking at me with a complicated expression. "You cast your screen downstairs." I calmly withdrew my hand and tidied my hair. Lying down was too boring, so I got some exercise. Jason sighed faintly. "Isabel, are you really not hiding anything from me?" Damn it. He actually didn't trust me that much. I was furious and yelled, my neck stiff. "No means no. Even if I say it 1,000 times, it's still no." Jason's eyes were dark and unreadable. He stood there, staring at me for a moment, then walked over and picked me up. "For someone in postpartum confinement, your behavior is a bit outrageous." I wrapped my arms around Jason's neck. "I don't have many virtues, but I am stubborn. This is called postpartum depression. Do you understand? Well, a miscarriage is also a birth." Jason put me back on the bed with a stern face. His expression was terrible, but his movements were surprisingly gentle. "Fine. You're depressed. From now on, I'll move in with you to prevent you from doing anything harmful to yourself. I'll be watching you closely, Isabel. You better behave." Jason was true to his word. He had a single bed placed next to mine and moved all his clothes and toiletries upstairs. I officially began a life of misery. Fortunately, the villa was in the mountains, so it was cool at night and not stuffy during the day. I couldn't drink cold beverages, couldn't be exposed to drafts, and couldn't run or jump around. Every meal I ate was nourishing. So nourishing yet bland, it made my mouth taste like nothing. Jason wasn't crazy, but I was about to be. So, on the morning of the third day, I ran away. Before 5 a.m., while everyone was still asleep, I secretly got up, put on my shoes, grabbed my phone, and slipped out of the villa. The air in the mountains that morning was truly fresh. I checked the navigation. It was only about 20 kilometers from the city. I happily strolled along the forest path, breathing deeply and freely. This was the taste of freedom. After walking for almost an hour, I felt like this freedom had gone a bit too far. I was exhausted. I should just take a taxi. I hailed a car, and to my surprise, it arrived very quickly, almost as soon as I finished ordering it. "Enjoy your walk? If you haven't walked enough, do you want to walk a bit more?" "Holy crap, Jason!" I slumped back, utterly disheartened. "When did you know I ran away?" I dejectedly followed Jason back home, feeling life was bleak and hopeless. Jason's mother said that to recover well, I needed to complete 40 days of confinement. 40 days! Lying around eating and drinking every day. How much weight would I gain? Jason implemented the confinement nurse's advice to the letter, and I felt like a prisoner. And he was the cold, ruthless warden. After lunch, I flopped onto the bed. This damned fattening up life was so boring. Because I was so bored, I started scrolling through my chat history with Jason. I'm on my period, darn it. I originally wanted to go for ice cream tonight. Huh? Oh my god. This is what I sent to Jason a week before my blind date. So, he always knew I was faking my pregnancy? Thinking of all that boiling water, hot chicken soup, and thick socks, I just wanted to kill Jason. No wonder he always asked me in such a strange way if I was hiding something from him. So he knew all along. I was furious, jumped out of bed, and rushed to Jason. He was sitting on the sofa reading a book. I grabbed his collar and forced him to look up. Jason was wearing gold-rimmed glasses, which softened the sharpness of his eyes and made his whole face look gentle. This must be the legendary ascetic charm? Jason raised an eyebrow, his eyes full of innocence. What's wrong? He knew I was faking my pregnancy, and I knew he knew I was faking my pregnancy. But he didn't know that I knew he knew I was faking my pregnancy. So now, the initiative is in my hands? I patted Jason's face and smiled at him. Nothing. I just think you're quite handsome. Jason and I have both been very busy lately, and we haven't had a proper date in a long time. Now that we're living together, a man and a woman, I don't believe he can resist. If he touches me voluntarily, he'll have to admit that he knew about my fake pregnancy. Otherwise, he'd be worse than a beast. After all, I'm still in confinement. Jason's eyes darkened. He held my wrist and leaned back. Tell me, what is it? I took a step forward and sat directly on his lap. I just missed you. I hooked my finger around his collar, deliberately softening my tone. Do you want to? Jason froze, and the next second he had already picked me up and thrown me onto the bed. You rest. I'm leaving. Watching Jason quickly walk away, I couldn't help but hold my stomach and laugh out loud. You little rascal! I can still deal with you! In the following time, Jason and I were both in a difficult situation. I tried every trick in the book to seduce him, even buying myself a few sets of sexy lingerie online. 3 days later, Jason finally couldn't take it anymore. Isabel, you forced me to do this. Jason, I didn't expect you to be such a beast. Woo woo woo. I'm still in confinement. And you actually, you don't care about my health at all. Jason wiped the sweat from his forehead. All right, stop acting. I pressed a pillow on his head. You dog, you knew it all along. Jason chuckled and took off the pillow, and then told me a shocking piece of news. Your mum arranged this. Your mum said you talk nonsense and joke about everything. So, she wanted to teach you a lesson. I sat on the bed, feeling hopeless. So not only do you know, but your mum also knows about this? Jason tried hard to suppress his laughter and nodded. Damn it! So all of you were watching me act? Only I got hurt. Woo woo woo! Jason and I reconciled. I obediently followed him to apologize to both sets of parents and promised that I would never joke about such things again. Jason also apologized for deceiving me for 4 years in college. Isabel, I really didn't mean to deceive you. Do you remember? When we first got together, you said your dad was a bricklayer, and on our first date you insisted on splitting the bill with me. If I treated you to dinner, you absolutely had to treat me to a movie in return. I thought you're the kind of girl with a lot of self-respect. I was afraid if I acted too rich and gave you expensive gifts, you'd feel burdened if you couldn't reciprocate. I didn't want to have conflicts with you over material things. So I lived a bit more simply. The day he drove me home, Jason took me for a walk in the mountains. He held my hand and patiently and gently explained everything to me. This reason was very convincing, and the resentment I had accumulated towards Jason during this time instantly disappeared. It's not easy to meet someone you like, and it's even harder to maintain a relationship. If Jason and I had been honest with each other sooner, we wouldn't have had so many problems. When you're in a relationship, being able to communicate openly is really important. I sighed deeply. I felt that my confinement period this month was truly justified. Isabel, hurry up! We're going to Jason's family for dinner today. Ever since Jason and I officially got together, my mum and Jason's mum have become like one person. They often make plans to eat and shop together, and they even call us to join them from time to time. I changed into a dress and put on makeup, arriving at Jason's family's restaurant. It was the familiar private room, the familiar spot. When are you two planning to get engaged? My mother put a chopstick full of greens on my plate, glancing at me indifferently, her eyes full of murderous intent. All right, first it was forced blind dates. Now it's forced marriage. Next, it'll be forced childbirth. And after the first child, forced second child. I shot her a look that said, I won't fall for it. Mom, Auntie, Jason and I have discussed it. We're still young. There's no rush to get married. Jason immediately chimed in. For now, we're prioritizing our careers. Jason's mom. Not giving up, put a piece of fish on my plate. Belle, you see, your mom and I are still young. We can help with the kids. When we get older, I felt a wave of discomfort in my stomach and couldn't help but gag. Usually, I love fish, but today's fish had an exceptionally strong fishy smell. The situation was a bit awkward, and I couldn't help but let out a couple of dry laughs. Haha, I've had too many cold drinks these past 2 days. My stomach isn't feeling great. My mom started kicking my leg frantically under the table again. I rolled my eyes internally, wiped my mouth, and continued eating, ignoring her. Jason's mum still wouldn't give up, and put another piece of abalone on my plate. Belle, scientists have said, the optimal childbearing age. I continued to gag. My mum couldn't take it anymore, and slammed her chopsticks down. What's wrong with you, you brat? I've been putting up with you for 2 days now. You sleep until noon. You're lazy and boneless in everything you do. And now you're faking, throwing up. You're not pregnant, are you? The words startled me. I frantically pulled out my phone because my period is irregular. I always make a habit of noting the date of its arrival each month in my memo. Sure enough, 45 days had passed since my last period. I suppressed my panic and explained to everyone, and to myself, how could I get pregnant so easily? I just have an upset stomach, really. I'm young. I just graduated from college. My wonderful life has just begun. I have money, looks, and time. I don't want to get married and have children. Jason scurried out like a rabbit and bought a bag of pregnancy tests. I walked out of the bathroom, looking dejected, holding the two-lined stick. Everyone started bustling around. To the hospital! Quickly! To the hospital! I sat in the passenger seat, unable to stop the sorrow from welling up. I had a fake confinement period, and now I'm pregnant with a real baby.